Hunting After Dark is sponsored by Feral Texas Outdoors Thermal and Night Vision Optics. Hey guys, it's Jason Price here with the Hunting After Dark podcast, and I have my co-host always is Justin Rumley, and we are going to be talking about an interesting topic. It's something I think we probably get calls about probably every single day. Not that we're tired of it, it's just we end up repeating the same information. I think we probably, if you called all three of us, we would say exactly the same sentence. So
it's
pretty rehearsed.
Yeah, we've got it down pretty dang good, so...
And that topic that we're going to be going about today is a multi-role thermal. Guys that are looking at thermals that they want to possibly run as a handheld and a scope, or essentially a buddy type setup. And so we went out and we picked some of our favorites. We kind of got a wild card at the end, but we were definitely going to go some of our top three here, and then we're going to throw us a wild card here on our fourth option. But these actually are all new released units.
Yeah, they are. They are fairly. I mean, we can't even get inventory for one at this point. Yeah. So that's how new they are. It's crazy.
New released units, just because I think a lot of these thermal manufacturers are now realizing the multi-role unit thing is a big deal for a lot of guys.
It's the way to go. I mean, why would you get anything else when you could just get a 2-for-1 and kill two birds with one stone, essentially?
I mean, I know that a lot of guys call us, they may grab some lower-end scopes to use as handhelds just for the fact that they have the buddy gun type thing. So it's kind of that perspective of which way to go. Handhelds, there's a lot of handhelds out there right now, a lot of options in handhelds, laser rangefinder, no laser rangefinder, what battery type. Ruggedized or small, compact. Those ruggedized ones, I mean, you literally drop it off the truck, leave it on the road, run it over, and bring it back. I mean, literally run it over, but, pretty much tear the thing up.
Yeah, as I say, you get the point, man. They're built to withstand some beating, and you can dang near pretty much do anything you want to them, and they're still going to power on, power off, and still have that good image, that you're getting with whatever unit that you're getting. So that's definitely been the magic question. Like Jason said, we get at least once a day, if not, 5 or 6 times a day is, well, what unit can, be used as a dedicated scope, but then it's still small and compact enough to be used as a monocular, or, I can throw it on another gun and use it as a buddy gun, if somebody wants to go with me. So I figured that'd be a good topic today to talk about, so I'll let Jason get after it with our first unit here.
I'm gonna grab. We're gonna start with Infrared Outdoors Micro Series, and this is the RL25. It comes exactly like this out of the box, $3,000, exactly like this with the mount. You can remove this mount. It's easily, you just take 2 screws with a little Allen wrench, there, and take those off, and then you've got a very, very compact unit. You can take the eye cup off here. There you go. And then you've got it even shorter. And I know they have a different eye cups, kind of like more like a PVS-14 eyepiece, something a little more.
So you're using it for the helmet, putting it on the helmet.
Very helmet type setup, yeah. So, when we look at the Micro Series here, there's actually 3 rolls because you can helmet mount these with the appropriate hardware because they do not come with the hardware to helmet mount them. Correct. But essentially, out of the box, you've got a handheld and weapon mount. You got a 2-in-1.
Yep. Right
here, out of the box, $3,000. Now, this is a 25 millimeter 3D4. Now, I know when they first released these, we had some details of what millikelvin ratings. So I believe the 3D4, it was 18.
18 with a 2-base magnification.
And a 2-base magnification on these. So, 2-base, 25 millimeter 3D4. I mean, you're good looking out there, 200 yards to kind of tell what something is out there.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to see heat past that point, but
it's just going to look like a blurry fuzzball out there. You're not going to be able to tell exactly what it is, but you're going to know something's out there.
Yeah, and a lot of guys, they may have other scopes and things or buddies or whatever that may identify things a little further for them, but you're still going to see the target. But we try to be realistic and conservative with the ranges of what you're able to do with this one, because some guys want to know, spend $5,000 for the 641 or do $3,000 for the 384. Yeah. And it's kind of where you kind of make your decision on what recognition range do you really need. I mean, a lot of guys for handhelds, if they are using it as handheld use, this is perfectly fine because they may have a larger scope. Yeah. Say, I'm just going to go with the gun as soon as I see something come anyway. I said, exactly right. I said, you're going to be watching them come all the way in with the gun just in case they hang up.
Yep.
Just in case they come hard charging in and you got to get ready and get the call ready. You ain't going to be able to fiddle with the handheld. you're going to be getting ready because, I mean, the last thing you're going to be looking through before you pull the trigger is going to be the scope.
Yeah, and realistically, the only thing you're going to be using really the RL-25 at that given time is to pick up, any detection, any heat detection, just using it as a handheld at that point. And then, like Jason mentioned, you're just going to go right into your, a 640 scope or, you know, 35 through 84 dedicated scope, something a little bit bigger than the RL-25 to be able to identify. And then, like Jason said, also is that's going to be the last thing you're looking through before you take a shot. So essentially, the RL-25 would be great. Being used as a handheld, but then also again, if you have a buddy that doesn't have a thermal and he wants to go with you, all you have to do is you can still use the standard mount that it comes with, lock it onto any kind of Picatinny rail, and you can go sight this unit in, and your buddy has a gun to use that night with you. So
Clip on use.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we can use it as a clip-on as well. So if you have like an LPVO style 1-5, 1-6 power daytime optic that you want to clip this in front of, as long as you get the specific hardware that you need, the pigtail with the MQD style mount, you'll be able to use this as a clip-on as well. And then also, if you don't like how tall and big this QD mount that it comes with, you can also use the pigtail with the MQD mount to run it as a dedicated scope as well. And to me, I feel like it definitely makes it a lot lighter to use as a handheld, because instead of this big mount here, you'll just have just a smaller style pigtail shoe that you can always just run that. And then if you ever wanted to put it on the scope as a dedicated or a clip on, you just latch it into the MQD and you're ready for business.
Well, I mean, it's going to make it short on this one.
Yeah, I was saying
Because
that
pretty much everything we just told you about the black one here on the RL-25 is exactly the same for the RH-25, except for when we get into some of the specs here. So this is their 640 version. It is a 25 millimeter sensor as well, but this one's a less than 15 millikelvin.
15, one base magnification.
And yeah, one base magnification on here. So this will be an even wider field of view than what the 2 was of the RL-25. Same mounting system. This actually has the pigtail already on it.
And you see how much more compact it makes it compared to the standard mount that it comes with. So, in my personal opinion, I definitely think the pigtail and the MQD mounting system is worth the upgrade. It's worth the $328 to get. So if you want to stay sleek and compact, then definitely recommend getting the pigtail, because you can see how much difference there is between the two mounting systems.
Now, both of these run 18650 batteries. So we got 2 different type of battery caps on here, so a short one and a long one. And we've thrown all kinds of different ones. We've thrown flashlight batteries in here. We've put just about any kind of 18650 you can get your hands on and put it in there. Just make sure it's tight and go test it under recoil. Make sure it's not too short on the contacts. So that was kind of nice being able to have that, because we literally just grab my little hard case with our charger and all our 18650.
All the goodies.
We're running around all night long.
The goodie box.
Yeah, exactly. So this one has all the capabilities, clip-on, weapon dedicated, handheld modes. All of those are available here. They did put bigger displays in both of these. Of his 2560 by, I think it's 1920. It's not. No. I'm all messed up. What is the resolution size? Sorry, we're just sitting here doing early things in the morning. We're trying to sit here and remember what the resolution size is on the display.
Yeah,
I don't want to lie to you. It is a larger display on here than the originals. I just did want to make a point about that. I'm sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. There are so many different products out there right now. I'm just surprised I'm able to get the dang specs right in a day when I'm talking to people on the phone.
Give you a freebie.
Yeah,
we'll give you a freebie. Don't worry.
give me the pass today on the display screen size. Then,
oh boy.
Then if I'm right, that's going to be the fun part. So what is our screen size on the new one here?
It's going to make me go into the menu.
Hit tick specs.
Of course.
Hey, Jess, what's the screen size on the RH-25 and RL-25s now? I'm going to make it a race.
I was going to say, it says 1440 by 1080.
Yeah,
display resolution.
yeah, that'll be it. 1440 by 1080. Like it probably wasn't quite as high as some of the 50 millimeter 640s and some of those bigger scopes. So no, I wanted to make sure that we did say that display screen size because it is a lot larger. I mean, you can just see it version 1 versus version 2 that there's a lot larger display. So as far as the handheld use, if people did not like the RH25 or All-25 before as a handheld, just because of the display, that is now changed and has a wider field of view inside of there. I mean, it looks like just a fuller display in general when you look inside of these units.
And there's a night and day difference comparing the version 1 to the version 2. I was going to say, you look through the version 1, you're like, okay, this looks good. And you go put your eye to the version 2, and you're like, holy crap. That's a big
Whole
difference.
New world altogether.
It's like you can see so much more, but, it's obvious because the display is a lot bigger. So technically you can.
Yeah, so we got a lot of guys that are talking about handhelds and, talked about the multi-role use things. These two are probably, some of my favorite ones to do just because of the hands-free operation of helmet-type mounting systems. And then just the two options of weapon mounting types where you can clip on versus dedicated. So these are definitely kind of my top picks. I mean, I've always been an RH25 fan. The V2, I've no different, being my top multi-role thermal. But I have a close second now coming up behind these two, which I've been testing, and we're going to get into those. So we're going to put the micros aside here.
Here, I'll let you put that one while you're over there.
I guess we forget this is the American Defense mount for the RH25.
Yeah, I was going to say, go ahead and clip it on there.
Demonstrate here.
And show you the difference there.
I'm not the best hand model. There we go.
Look at there. Yeah, it makes it still a lot more compact than the standard QD mount that the RL and RH25 come with. So highly recommend getting the pigtail shoe and the MQD style mount just to stay a lot more sleek and compact compared to the QD mount that it comes with.
All right. Well, let's get into a new one that is releasing next week. Yep. Nobody call me and cuss me out if they are delayed, but
yeah, I'll make sure we post that.
I've been told next week. That is what we know as of now, and these have not been released yet, and this will be the new unit by Knockpicks. This is the Slim of the L35 here. They also make an H35, so we'll get into specs of both. So I am very lazy, so I only grabbed the one unit. So we're going to just pretend that this one is both of them for now.
They look the same.
Yeah, they look exactly the same. You're not going to be able to tell the difference. You only have to look at the white writing on the side to tell what the difference is between these two.
As I say, the only thing is resolution. That's it.
Yeah. So when we look at these, Knockpicks is essentially a weapon-dedicated system. As you can see here, there is no mounting. I mean, you look here, there's like a little circle here, and there is no mounting system, and it's just a pigtail. I mean, not pigtail, Jesus, better say that right. There is just a rail system here on the bottom.
Yep.
So what happens with these and what Knockpicks decided to do here in conjunction with IRUSA is design a platform that was a 2-in-1. So how they do this is they have a special mounting system here. You can see it where it's kind of got a little circle, and it actually has, I'll pop open our second latch here. Actually has two different latches. One will be to mount to the weapon system. Sorry, I'm going to put that down.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to drop something here in a second.
Leave it just like that. All right, so we'll latch on to a rail system, and then we are going to have this one still open because we are going to attach. This circle here on both of these is magnetic. So it kind of grabs it, and then you can latch your system on, and there you are set for your weapon dedicated system.
Makes it easy, especially with that magnetic design there. Especially a magnetic design in the dark. All you know is you have to get it close. Boom, they're going to connect to each other. Just lock it down with the latch, and it's going to go right back to where it was before you took it off.
And there's not multiple slots. There's only one slot. So you get it to fit in there and latch in, you're good to go. You're not getting anything off or mixed up or anything in the dark. And I know this works because I did have to do it one night. I forgot my handheld with Justin, and I needed a handheld, and I had to take it off my gun, stalk up on pigs, and then put, like, if the H35 video, you're going to see one where a pig is staring straight at me. And I think I did cut the video, but he's staring at me, and I literally put it on, like, as the handheld, put it on the gun. 1-2 seconds, I'm going, and I've got the crosshair right on his face and pull the trigger. So I probably should demonstrate and show that video one of these days. But as far as removal, I pull one latch, I'm free, got my handheld, I'm looking around, and we are leaving this behind. So this stays on your weapon system, does not come off. And so you have your 2-in-1 operation. This unit is let's say the L35 here is a 35 millimeter 384 12 micron, 18 millikelvin sensor. And it has been impressive of what you'll be able to get here. This is a $2,000 unit right now.
Yeah, it's pretty dang good. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, now it is a 3.5 base magnification. So as far as handheld operations, 3.5, it is a little on the high side. So just kind of take it with what you can, get what you get for $2,000. You've got
absolutely
an all-in-one deal here for $2,000. So I would say that's a hell of a deal. It does run on 18650 battery. That's what you get your little battery cap here. So a common battery type. We're not running expensive proprietary $100 batteries here. We are running
find anywhere.
We're running a $20 18650
Yep.
that is coming with this unit. So these units have been impressive of what their utilization's been able to be as a 2-in-1 type unit. Easy operation, 3-button design. I mean, you don't get much simpler than that in 3
the
buttons.
functions are easy. You're not going to get fumbling between 5, 6 different buttons. I mean, you got your 3, and those 3 is all you need. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we get a lot of guys say, what was the easiest operation? What's the easiest one to use? I mean, well, 3 buttons. I mean, it's hard to screw up 3 buttons.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say, it shouldn't be too difficult with that, especially, I mean, even with playing with it myself, I was going to say, it's not too difficult to get in there and navigate the way you need to, to where you need to go. So it's definitely sweet, short, and simple.
Now, I will also let you know, just with this, is if you're like, you know what, I don't like that mount, it's too bulky, just kind of like with their micros, you can also use an American Defense mount here and be able to use this as well and be able to use an American Defense mount. $200 upgrade for those, and there you go. It quick QDs onto an American Defense mount, ready to roll.
Yep, makes you still stay, like I said, RL, RH25, that MQD mount makes it stay a lot more compact. Same thing with this Slim Series MQD mount. Definitely a lot more compact than the mount that the standard mount that it comes with. The only feature you don't get is that magnetic point in the standard mount. But even then, like Jason mentioned, you only have one slot to put that Picatinny piece into. So it's not like you can mess that up. As long as you get it into that groove, lock it down, you're going to be good to go. Your scope's going to return to 0, and it's going to work as it should. So that's definitely been a cool scope for us to be field testing in, and I definitely think it's going to hit the market hard because this is the true meaning of a multi-roll scope. You got a 2-in-1 here in a 35 640 that you can get for it as well. And, I mean, what else do you need? A lot of guys are like, well, do I get a good scanner or do I get a good scope? Well, now you got both here all in one that you can run as a monocular, put it back on your gun, returns to 0, and make a good shot with it. So it's going to be hard to beat.
I don't know if you've been listening to me on the phone or not, talking to people about it, but you know how much it weighs?
I've heard you say it, but I done forgot by now.
Without the mount, it is 1.1 pounds.
Yeah, it's super light. I mean, it's compared to any other good 640 monoculars, they probably weigh the same, if not a little bit less.
Yeah, they had kind of a little bit of polymer housing on there a little bit. But I haven't had any issues with any recoil stuff or anything like that. I run a little bit more polymer housing, getting a little lighter weight. I did like the lightweight running it as a weapon system.
Yeah.
Just on the gun, it was nice to have lightweight operation, and then shooting multiple rounds. We're throwing it in and out of vehicle. I mean, hell, I put it in like on those gun little bags and threw it up on the high rack and drove down the road.
Yeah.
And rattling around up in the top, and didn't have any issues with it coming off or anything like that. Yeah, and I did like, it's like that coyote video that we posted today, the one that I already showed you. All I had was just like a sliver of his back. I mean, that pinpoint with those crosshairs you can really, really hone these slim units in. And I was able to pull off a shot I didn't think I was going to be able to make.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, all you could see was like the little ridge of his back, and he put the little crosshair on it and squeezed, and hell, you hit, and that was all you needed. So, like you said, you can really pinpoint these suckers in, dial them in really good. So, like I said, we have nothing but good things to say about these slim units. They, true definition of a 2-in-1 multi-roll scope / monocular. So, like I said, they're definitely going to be popular. Even 35, 34, all the way up to 35, 640. I mean.
Yep. So the slim is in L35, essentially was think low resolution with the L. The H think high resolution. So H35 is the 640 version. The 640 version, still 18 millikelvin, 12 micron.
Yep.
We are looking at a difference in the base magnification. And this is the one that I think will probably be the most popular, is the H35. It's $3,000 to have that 2-in-1 scope with a 2 base magnification.
Yep.
So 2 base magnification on the 640. You can zoom up with that unit, of course, in digital zooming. But as far as the 2-in-1 handheld being a 2 base, I'm like, that's probably going to be the most popular thing. It's going to be interesting. Everything around that $3,000 mark, you're looking at 640, 35 millimeters. It's going to be one that's really going to take off and do well. I had a call this morning asking about some comparison between the products. I said it is the only. Now, of course, someone can debate me here, but as of now, it is the only 35 millimeter 640 less than 18 millikelvin sensor.
Yeah.
It is the only one out there right now.
Absolutely.
So
I agree
image quality of what it's calibrated to, what it's able to do, and performance with that sensor is it is top of the line sensor for $3,000. So there's no one else out there that has one like that. So it's going to be very unique. Coming out here to the market, I predict it right now will be one of the most popular units in the 640.
There's no reason for it not to be, because like I said, 2-in-1. You mentioned sub 18 millikelvin sensor, the only 35 640 scope unit out there with that sensor inside of it. So.
I mean, because the thing is, if you call me and say I want a multi-role unit for $3,000, we can go with that micro RL25, but that's 384.
Mm-hmm.
It's smaller, and then or you go 640, and you lose kind of the helmet operation of it. But you have to have a little bit of give and take. But it's like, but you got the higher resolution now with the 35 millimeter 640.
Yep. No, I'm right there with you, man. It's going
to be decisions to make here.
Yeah, I was going to say,
if you want a helmet mount or not.
Basically, it's going to throw another card on the table for you to sit there and shuffle around and, debate which way you want to go. So, like I said, this one's going to be very hard to pass.
And I'm going to tell you right now, if you call me and ask me if you can helmet mount a Slim, I will come to the phone and slap you.
People are going to ask,
I'm going to tell you,
and they're going to make it possible. You're going to get on Facebook.
Look at this right here, guys. This is not going to work as a helmet mount. I'm going to tell you right now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to walk, and this thing's going to go right into your eye.
But people are going to make it happen. They're
going to rig up the goofiest looking thing. I mean, look. I mean, you're you're going to walk, and this thing's going to be right in your eye.
Hey, I've seen guys have Telos units out there with helmet mounted, but as long as they got a 3D printer, they're gonna make something happen. So yes, you get on Facebook, you're gonna see this unit.
It's like that thing's so heavy. It's whatever you 3D print. I don't care what material you're making it out of. Even if you use some of the carbon stuff,
they're gonna make it happen. But
it's gonna break.
Yeah,
it's gonna break, and then your thousands of dollars are gonna end up on the ground. Like you've got to have metal mounting systems for helmet mount systems. Just the way you get around, just the way sometimes you rip helmets off, you take helmets off, you hit things, you get up against the vehicle. You're out in the field. I mean, nothing's gonna be worse than you getting out in the field and have that thing drop on the ground and then trying to find it, or hell, driving. You're driving a buggy, and if I lost an optic while driving down a buggy, it's
hit the floorboard out in the road.
Yeah, and then
you'd
it's
be
gone.
shedding a tear.
So I don't recommend it. Of course, I know people will try it, and I'm just joking around about come slapping you through the phone, but I might talk shit to you on Facebook or something. But
yeah, absolutely.
On YouTube when you go comment on there, but yeah. But I honestly think you kind of make the sacrifices of what you really want to do on the helmet mounting operation. Now, I will also say helmet mounting operations and things like that is just know it's not just about what you put in the front. So the micros, they're designed that way for a reason. That lightweight up in the front.
Oh yeah.
For the fact of you have to counterweight in the back. And you can run a battery pack to those with USB-C now with those micros, but you have to think about that is a lot of weight on your head. You don't feel like you're back in your football days if you're a football player. But
wearing a big old helmet.
I mean, that's a lot of weight. I have trouble wearing helmets. I wear like the harness thing. You will never catch me on video. Of course, some of y'all try. Y'all try to catch me in pictures or video. I wear like the mohawk deal. Like I've got it where there's a band around my head and a mohawk down the middle. I try to run it as light as I can because I hate all that weight on my head. I do have helmets, and I will say that I do have a preference. I do like our hardhead veterans guys over in Sweetwater. I do like their helmets. If I do wear a helmet, I do have one. I actually grabbed it last night to run some night vision goggles to drive. I was being lazy last night and not loading up the buggy. I was like, I'm just going to take the Bronco and drive with these night vision goggles.
Easy enough. Yeah, absolutely.
Grabbed my helmet and ran out last night. But yeah, I just, you do want it to be lightweight if you are looking towards multi-role thermals, and you do want a lightweight helmet. I mean, of course, we're not running ballistic helmets in most 95% of the guys out there are not either, unless we're doing more tactical type things. But more as hunting applications, wearing ABS plastic helmets, and you can get by with a lot of things on those on helmet wise. But you're going to want that lightweight in the front, and because you are going to have to counterweight in the back. So the guys that start rigging up some of this other stuff, it's like all the deals that you did with that thing is going to weigh a ton, and your neck's going to be swole like that. And like, what? There's some guys out there can do it.
Might as well put a 5-pound dumbbell on your head, and the same thing. I mean, I can get you some training in before you get it on.
It's just like, I don't know how people did that Envision Ox 35 as a scanning around.
They did it, man.
Now, our buddy Brian, the Night Vision Hog guy, he was running that Trigicon. The patrol for years. I mean, but Brian's a lot tougher than I am. I mean, he's a trooper, man. He loves that thing. I think he still has his that works, and I mean that sucker's heavy. It ain't made for the weak.
Yeah, more power to him, man. He can do it.
But now with the newer technology, I am definitely going to take advantage of some of the newer things that are out there when we look like helmet mounting operations and multi-role stuff. But if you are looking for a lightweight thermal, I definitely suggest looking at getting into the knock picks thing, watching our videos on Federal Texas Outdoors. We do have videos up. I just uploaded the 640 today. I had 384 yesterday. So both of those up with field footage to see what it looks like, being able to do that in those operations. But guys, if you call us and you're going to ask us what is probably the best scope handheld, and it's going to be the Slims. I mean, it is going to be the Slims for us.
It's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah.
Very hard to beat.
That are dedicated scopes. That's what they're designed for. They do have a little longer range than some of our micros do. So that is going to definitely be the answer here for the immediate future. But we do kind of have a wild card that we're going to kind of throw in here. And this is one that we get some calls on. It doesn't really qualify as a 2-in-1, but it's kind of that off-label. It's that off-label use is the best way to say it. It may not always work for you. It's not always guaranteed, but some guys swear by it.
Yeah, I mean, this is, one of the most popular units. Like Jason said, it's not labeled as a 2-in-1, but a lot of guys use it as a 2-in-1 because of the mounting system and how small and compact it is. So we'll let Jason introduce it to you here. But like I said, this one's been a very popular, off the chart. Not necessarily a 2-in-1, but a one fits all type of scope.
Yeah, so we get a lot of guys asking us, I just need a cheap handheld. I just need a cheap alternative. I've got $1,000.
Yep.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Well, so you got a Rattler V2 19-256 or a 25-256. $795, $995. So under $1,000, you have a full dedicated scope. Now, this sucker is a lot heavier than the other ones that we do, but has a nice American Defense mount that is a return to zero mount here. And far as buddy gun operations and handheld type things with guys on a budget, because we kind of, we started at, essentially the cheapest one that we went over so far is $2,000.
Yeah.
You don't have $2,000. And you need something to look and scan with and look around and in the field, or your potential buddy gun, or your son's going with you, or whatever it may be, or your wife that likes to go hunting maybe every once in a while, once a year. I told my wife she didn't get out here today and try to sit down with us, and she said no, she wasn't camera ready, so I didn't drag her out here. But anyway, so Rattler V2 in the 19-256, we're looking at a 2.5 base magnification. Yep. And so, that's okay with the handheld being 2.5. The 25 is a 3.5. So the 25 has a little bigger sensor on it, a little bit harder being the higher base magnification, but it does give you a little better image quality than the 19.
Yes, I would definitely agree there.
So, how we get a lot of things is sometimes guys get their feet wet with these units, then they jump up to 3, because these are 256 resolution. They do jump up to 384.
Yep.
And then they'll say, we very, very seldomly ever get guys try to sell back or trade in 19 and 25 256s because they are using it as a backup scope or a handheld.
Yep, because then essentially once they start at the 256, they kind of just, that is the bottom of the barrel there. And then their next thing is to upgrade. So they keep the 25 256 or 19 256 to essentially just use it as a scanner, because their next scope that they're getting, they'll definitely use it, to be able to identify at further distances and know what they're looking at. They're just using the 256 resolution units to pretty much find whatever they're looking for. Find the pigs, find the coyotes. Then they hop in their 384, 640 version units and identify and then take the shot. So basically, it's an off the charts, one size fits all type of deal here with the Rattler V2s.
Yeah, when you're in the dark, you better mark your rail or somehow put some kind of ridge on it or something like that to know where you're going to be putting that thing back on. If you're going to return it to zero, sometimes you got to turn a light on and see and make sure. So it's not ideal for multi-role use, but if you're on a budget and you're in a pinch,
a lot of people use them for like that multi-role use. Just make sure you put it back in that same Picatinny slot that you took it off of.
Yeah.
If not, then that's where the issues will develop. So just make sure that you do put it back in that same Picatinny slot.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting because you got some 256 handhelds that are pretty cheap right now, but I think the cheapest 256 handheld you can get your hand on right now. Of course, there's a little sale going on right now, but normally it's $500.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like spend $800 or spend $500. You
get you something that you can use as a scope in a handheld, or just something that's just handheld only. So that's just kind of settles the debate itself right there, knowing that you can get a scope that can be used as a handheld versus something that can only be used as a handheld.
Yeah, and the cheapest handheld there, I think it was at 9mm or something like that.
It's a 9-256, yeah.
Yeah, and this is 19, so you're getting a lot larger sensor for that extra $300 to try to do something. I mean, it is not ideal. I mean, this sucker is good little weight to it.
Yeah, it's heavy, especially when you get that mount on it.
Yeah, you probably take that mount off.
All that stuff.
Yeah, and it's got a good battery system on it. That'll probably run you all night long. So it all depends on how you're wanting to run things. But there are options out there for multi-role stuff. I mean, the thing is, multi-role use, I think, is a budget-friendly option.
Yeah, I mean, there's something out there that's going to fit everybody, no matter what you're needing for. Just a handheld, dedicated scope, 2-in-1, 3-in-1. There's something out there for you. Just don't think that you have to settle for one of these and one of those when you can get one of these that's going to do both of those. So it's one of those type of deals. Just if you got questions, give us a call. Definitely ask us, and we can answer any questions that we have for you.
Yeah,
that you have for us.
I can say that our chief police come up to me, and we were talking about thermals and different things like that. And he had an incident where he was chasing a suspect, and he couldn't figure out where he went. It was at night, and he was running after him and trying to figure out where he went. And I told him that, I said, all right, so you need something that's kind of a handheld.
Yeah.
He goes, I was like, do you want something potentially on a weapon system? I said, because what are you going to do if, it's dark and, they start shooting at you? They shoot at you or what's going to happen? They shoot at you and run off. What are you going to do? Run around there and then trying to flash the light out?
Or you pull your old Streamlight or mag light out?
So I told him, I said, let's look at your service weapons. Let's figure out something.
Yeah.
So, with that RH-25, I said, use that as a handheld. We'll set you up with the QD system with your ARs and just get you a little bit of some magnified holographic sight.
Yeah.
That'll work for you to where you can still shoot and use it as a clip-on. You go slam it on that mount real quick. You're chasing somebody. You're looking. You're like, you know what? Bam! I got it on the service weapon now. Yeah. That way, they had more options. Now we do live in a small town. The likelihood of this scenario is going to happen, but I'm going to tell you,
I agree.
Our officers are prepared.
Yeah, if you come through here, just know that hey,
trying to stir up anything at nighttime. Yeah, they're ready to roll. They've got RH-25s on their service rifles, and they are ready for nighttime.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, they wanted something that could fit in their utility pouches in the front, like in their vest. Something that they can put in there, thing strapped to it along with everything else, and to be able to run after somebody and then be able to look and scan and go back and forth. So it worked perfectly for them for police departments. I believe we're doing a quote for a police department right now for some RL-25s because they wanted to try to get more of a number of units for their money.
Yeah.
So I think they were wanting like 4 or 5 of them. And so, that works for them in 3:4 resolution or something up close. I mean, that's what worked for them. And they were wanting to weapon mount some of those. So every department's going to be a little bit different on what their utilization and what they want to use it for. But I mean, we'll say tactical type situations and some of these things are cool. And I think the Slim's going to fit an interesting part when we look at some of our tactical type things as well with the 2-in-1 handheld use. Now, you may not be able to get into tactical pouches and things like that. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. As this product is going out here, towards the end of 2024 into 2025, I am curious to see where that Slim is going to hang out. With officers. Mm-hmm. Well, Jess, do we have any comments from TikTok there? Jess, you typing to somebody? She's over here talking trash to some. What now? cast and
Pinche
blood.
Ben, man.
Pinche Ben.
And Jimmy. Watching live,
we
man.
need to get
We need to
go
get them in
together.
here. I was going to say, we have plenty of room. We can get 4 people squeezed in here.
Yeah, we'll go squeeze in here and go do something. And get to work. Now, I'm gonna pump poacher. I'm gonna go drive right by there. I'm gonna go run off all them deer over there that they got.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take me a detour on my way home.
Honk
On my
the
way
horn a
back
little
home.
bit.
I'm gonna go by about evening time, right at dusk.
Our new affiliates, he's on here.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Yeah, guys, we're trying to do TikTok a little bit more. We know it's a little different from most of our podcasts, but
Yeah,
you try to
absolutely.
find platforms that where you sit there and we want people to interact with us. We do want to hear you comments. We do want to say stuff on YouTube. We're always open to pretty much on ideas, and it does get hard for us to kind of find topics that we try not to beat everything
It
to
is.
death.
It definitely is hard.
But this one was one that I felt is something that we dealt with every day.
Yeah.
And was very, very common for us to
common
talk
question.
about. Yeah.
Common question
for
every
Jess,
day.
Justin, myself, all the other guys that work with us online from home. And
Yes, Wyatt, I recognize your name this time.
who?
Wyatt said
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jess tried to hose him, man. Trying to hose him on a deal. She's like, oh, try to hose him on a deal.
He had his legal name on the order.
He had his government name.
Yeah, there are a lot of new products out there coming out, and that's why we're trying to do a lot of this content out here. She's just kind of joking around. Someone that just started working with us was getting something that was a little bit older, and we're like, hey, there is newer technology or newer sensors out there. I think millikelvin is starting to become a big play in a lot of things, and I can tell you, you will be able to tell the differences in sensors.
No, yeah, absolutely. There's no way you can't. I mean, just you look at one here, and then look at one here, and then you're like, yeah, there's no.
Yeah, what's the difference? And it is how those sensors are getting calibrated down and what they're able to go to. And it is getting to be something that you do have to start paying attention to that number now. The thing is like a lot of guys says, well, I'm glad I called you. I didn't know what all these numbers meant. It's like, and I'm glad that you called. Glad you asked those questions. They're not stupid questions. Ask those questions, especially when you start looking at different units and things. Ask what is resolution, what is micron, what is millikelvin, and how are those things important? And we'll shoot you straight. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. We'll answer any
questions.
questions. There's no dumb question. I mean, you got to know what you're getting, so definitely ask those questions. Ask what each number means, and we can definitely break it down for you the best that we can, and kind of educate you there, so you know that you're buying the best unit that's going to fit you best and keep you within the budget that you're looking to spend. So yeah, most definitely give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer any questions, answer any specs that you have, wanting to meet, what you wanting to use that unit for, type of deal. So yeah, we can definitely get you set up for what you're looking for and answer any questions.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you what I'm not looking forward to. It's like we got these nice multi-role units. We've gone through all of them now. I think we got to hop back to some digital night vision stuff.
Yeah, that's all right.
Some regular night vision things I need to do some videos on. I'm not looking forward.
We gotta field test Sniper Hoglight's new.
Hyperion.
Flashlight. I mean, what?
Yeah, I'll make it work though.
Oh, but yeah, we got to do some digital night vision stuff, some regular night vision things that we've got to play around with here a little bit.
Hold on. Castle Blast said we had a hunter out last night with a new Rick's unit, and man, we were sold on it.
Yeah,
That's good. I mean, they make good units. I mean, they're hard to beat. I mean, hard to complain about. So.
Yeah. And they have a lot of good dedicated scopes. Got lots of big things going on. They have some compact units and things as well. Just not anything quite multi-role on the Rick side just yet. They have one that kind of has the potential to be one, but I don't want to sit here and put the cart before the horse on it.
Yeah.
And I had somebody kind of ghetto rigged on something they were trying to rig up the other day with one of the units, and I had to kind of set up for him, but I don't know if he's going to go that route or not. But yeah, I guess it'd be fun to kind of play around with these units. What?
Yeah.
You're Mr. MacGyver with all the.
Oh yeah, I'll rig you something up, man.
Make it work somehow, some
We'll
way.
find.
Pull out all the tools
I'll start putting out tools and
If it
different
fits, it
screws and
works.
mounts and things. And you want to try to rig something up, you let us know. But
Yeah, absolutely.
we'll definitely find something that's going to fit. We get to kind of play around with some of these different things and seeing what works with what. It was kind of nice that ADM mount. I didn't have to have another type of ADM mount to work with that slim.
Yeah, it worked and just popped right on, pops right off. So it works just fine.
Yeah, tested under recoil. Everything works fine with that. So that was one of those things that we were MacGyvering. I'm like, I bet you this works with this.
Yep, sure
And
enough, it did.
that's one of those things she's joking around about, giving me a hard time about. But guys, if you have questions, like Justin mentioned earlier, give us a call, feraltexasoutdoors.com on any of these new optics, and we can get you set up, especially with the new knock picks. We have been field testing everything. We've got one more of the units that we need to get out and field test on the scope style, but everything else we definitely had our hands on the knock pick side.
Yep.
Favorite multi-roll, guys, RH25, my favorite.
Yep.
RH25 by far. If you can't do RH25, do RL25.
Yeah, I mean, RH25 is
helmet
hard to
mount
beat.
stuff. Yeah, if you got helmet mount things you want to do, nothing wrong with going with 3D4, be able to do that. But I'll let Justin close us out here for today.
Yeah, absolutely. Be sure to check us out on Apple and Spotify podcasts at Hunting After Dark Podcast. Check us out on YouTube as well at Hunting After Dark. And you could also check us out on our website at huntingafterdarkpodcast.com. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.